Most people are composting the wrong way and don't even realize it. They pile kitchen waste, leaves, and grass together and assume time will fix everything. But what actually happens is slow decomposition, nutrient loss, and uneven breakdown that ends up producing mediocre compost instead of rich soil. In some cases, it doesn't even become compost, it just rots. That slow breakdown is exactly why many gardens stay stuck in the same cycle: weak plants, poor water retention, and soil that never really improves no matter how much organic matter is added. I've seen this problem repeatedly in raised beds and container systems where growers think they're building fertility, but they're actually creating unstable soil conditions. One tool I started using to stop guessing is the YAMRON 4-in-1 soil moisture meter. It lets you check moisture, pH, temperature, and light levels so you know whether your compost pile or soil system is actually in the right range for microbial activity. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Because most compost problems don't come from materials, they come from wrong conditions. Now here's what most people don't understand about composting. The normal method is too passive. You throw everything into a pile, turn it occasionally, and wait. But microbes don't work efficiently in random conditions. They need balance, oxygen, and controlled moisture. Without that, you get cold piles that take months or hot piles that burn out nutrients too fast. The method I use instead is more controlled and surprisingly faster. Instead of one large mixed pile, I break composting into active micro-layers. This means alternating thin layers of green material like vegetable scraps and grass clippings with dry carbon materials like shredded cardboard or dry leaves, but keeping each layer no thicker than about 3 to 5 centimeters. That thin structure increases oxygen flow and speeds up microbial activity dramatically. Within 3 to 5 days, you start noticing internal heat building properly if the balance is correct. That heat is not random, it's a sign that decomposition is actually happening at the right intensity. And here's where most people go wrong again. They overwater compost piles thinking moisture equals faster breakdown. In reality, too much water pushes out oxygen and turns the pile anaerobic. That's when you get bad smells and slow, slimy decomposition. What actually works is moisture control that feels like a wrung-out sponge. If you squeeze it and water drips, it's too wet. If it feels dusty and dry, microbes go dormant. This is also where monitoring tools like the YAMRON meter matter in real gardening systems. In raised beds or compost-adjacent soil piles, I've seen moisture swings of 20 to 30% within a single day depending on sun exposure. That kind of fluctuation quietly kills microbial stability. Once I started tracking it instead of guessing, compost consistency improved immediately. Now let's talk about speed, because this is where the real difference shows. Traditional composting can take 6 to 12 weeks for usable material. With a controlled layering method and proper aeration, you can start getting partially broken down organic matter in as little as 10 to 14 days, especially in warm weather. The reason this works is simple biology. Microbes multiply faster when they have consistent oxygen and balanced carbon to nitrogen ratios. Most gardeners ignore this and just focus on dumping waste. But if you want faster results, you have to think like the microbes, not like the gardener. Another mistake I see often is people mixing everything into one uniform pile. That creates zones where oxygen can't reach, especially in the center. Those anaerobic pockets slow everything down and reduce nutrient quality. Instead, keep structure in the pile. Airflow is not optional, it is the engine of decomposition. And here's something I'll be direct about. Most slow compost is natural compost advice is misleading. Natural doesn't mean inefficient. In real ecosystems, decomposition is fast, layered, and constantly cycled by soil organisms. We slow it down artificially by building dense, unmanaged piles. When you correct that structure, everything changes. Even in container gardening systems, I've used small-scale versions of this method by pre-processing organic waste before adding it to soil. The result is more stable nutrient release and fewer issues with nitrogen lockout. But there is one more critical detail. Temperature control matters more than people think. If a compost system stays too cold, decomposition stalls. If it overheats, beneficial organisms die off. The sweet spot is consistent warmth without extreme spikes. That's why checking environmental conditions regularly helps you understand whether your system is actually working or just sitting there. Once you get this right, compost stops being a slow background process and becomes an active soil building system. Instead of waiting months for results, You start producing usable organic material in weeks, and your garden responds faster because the soil biology is actually alive and balanced. That's the real difference between normal composting and controlled composting. One is passive waiting. The other is active soil engineering. If you found this useful, subscribe to FarmLogic because most gardening advice online ignores the science behind decomposition, and that's exactly why most compost systems fail. The more you understand oxygen flow, moisture balance, and microbial activity, the faster your soil improves, and the more consistent your garden becomes season after season.